All right, so here we go. I'm just going to kind of give you, this video is just kind of showing you kind of a breakdown of step by step as the build progressed, as things are going in the tank. Quick pictures of the tank. It's just kind of a quick, this is going to be basically a rundown of the 7 months, I guess, now since the tank was started. We had some mishaps. We had some good things happen. As you can see in the picture there right now, this is the tank after I got the stand put together. I'm just putting it here on the stand. I have videos on each one of these steps as we go through as we go through this here quick fast forward move. There's videos on my channel every step that I've done. Just like this RO unit, I have a whole video on that about buying it, unboxing it, installing it. It's turned out to be a very good investment for this tank. As things would go, the RO unit itself is fairly small. However, it is a really good unit. It works well. Have had no problems with it, and I don't have a high demand. I mean, when you're talking, I do like 5-gallon water changes weekly. This thing will last me for quite a while. It does more water than one would think, and it's pretty simple, quick, straightforward. I did find out that the replacement filters, I was just looking into it, I don't need them yet, but the replacement filters, by the time you buy them, you've actually spent more money than if you buy the entire unit. So I'm thinking once this unit has exhausted, I'll probably just discard the whole thing and order a new one with all new filters, because it actually ends up being cheaper. And then I got extra fittings and whatnot for, if anything would go wrong with it. Otherwise, this, like I said, has been a really good part. Next is we're going to be getting into the placement here. This is where I decided to put the tank. Just kind of off to the corner there a little bit, leveled it out, got some sand for it, the Carib Sea, going to be putting that in. Once again, I'm going to probably say this multiple times, but the video itself is just kind of a layout here showing you where we've come, where it started to where it's come. Basically, as you can see, I'm getting the tank put together. Pretty soon I'll be getting, yes, I got water going in it here, as you can see. Then I have also some clarifier packets that came with the Carib Sea that I didn't even really know existed till I bought it, to be honest with you. But I put that stuff in. I cleared the water up, I mean, overnight, just perfect. As you can see here, this is probably, right before I put it in, and then boom, it was clear by the next morning. I just putting the last few touches on it, getting it all ready. Next phase here, obviously, we're moving there. You can see I got a couple of mollies in there, but the next move here is just, I have 2 videos on the building of the aquascape, and this is quite a bit different take on building a aquascape than I've seen on other videos or have seen in other tanks. I used 100% silicone instead of super glue and that type of thing. I used zip ties to hold it together while it dried. I used a skeleton of a PVC pipe. So I mean, that's basically the first one done in the tank. Then I had more rock that it was used rock. It was dirty. Somebody had it laying outside, I got it from a fish store. It was just discarded, basically. So that part there, I was soaking it in bleach. I have videos on that as well, how to bring it back to where it's usable. That you can see here where I'm going to be rinsing it here shortly. Then after I was done, just to be on the safe side, I put in dechlorinator. Then after that, I laid it out to dry completely before I started to build the second structure. And there's the second structure, which was also done with PVC pipe as a base. And then I just threw in a couple of chunks of rubble here. In fact, a couple of them I took out because I did find out one thing I don't like on this tank is I put so much rock in there. The fish can get on all sides of it, front and back, and the water can move. You can see that, but it's just solid rock. So I am thinking about maybe taking some of that out, but we'll see how that goes in the future. Then, of course, once I got into this phase, then I had to start worrying about testing the water, making sure things were ready before I added any livestock, that type of thing. So I did kind of a video. Well, it's kind of a long video, but how it seems like a lot of people liked it. The video itself is just basically comparing some of the HANA testers with the API testers, and also, just the basic usage. If some people had some questions on, the instructions, they're pretty straightforward, really, once you just take the time to read them. But a lot of times it is nicer just to watch a video, than to sit and read the instructions and wondering if you're doing it correct. There was actually one test on here, I can't remember which one it was, that I actually watched a video on before I did my video, because I wanted to make sure I was understanding it correctly. But this is just a quick rundown of that portion. Like I said, there's videos for that. I'm going to be putting these videos, I believe, underneath this video, a link basically to all these videos, so that you have the ability to go back, just quick links to go under if there's one specific topic or item that you were curious about or wanted to see the video on. So be definitely checking under the video for these links. There's the Molly, which I actually still have. I was going to get rid of her, but I took her out of this tank, and I actually kept her in a small little tank right now with kept one of her babies, because she did have babies while she was in here, which I do have a video on that as well. She was kind of the guinea pig fish, you could call the starter fish. There was a male as well, but he's always hiding. She's active, but he was always hiding. He ended up not making it here, so I think he was probably sick. I don't know what he would have had. As you can see here in this video, the baby's in the background. Then I was trying to get coralline algae, so I had, I did a video on the purple up. That video will be on the link as well, where you can check it out. Here's one showing, my high phosphates, and then showing what I used to get them down to start with before I went into the next phase of actual maintenance. You can see the green hair and the nasty stage in the tank here, and I got a little ahead of myself with the corals. Watching this, I mean, if you are watching this, just know that you may go through some of this at the beginning. I think most hobbyists do, before things get better. And maybe it wasn't such a great idea for me to run out and buy corals. I got excited, so I put some corals in there. But here's after the phosphate. You can see how it went down considerable just with one dose there. I have a whole video on that as well. Then when I finally decided that I wanted to move on to the next phase, I had to get rid of these mollies. Well, of course, I have this big chunk of rock in there. I was unable to, catch them, so I kind of built this little bottle trap, which I also did do a video on, just to kind of show you a quick, simple way to catch fish. Obviously, if you have larger fish, you're going to have to think up something with a larger opening, but for me, this worked pretty good. It kept the mom and the shrimp out. In the meanwhile, I was catching all the little ones because they were all darting in for the food. There's the next phase here where this is after I got rid of the hair algae. You can see I immediately got attacked with the red. At this point, I decided that I needed to do something to try and stabilize things, so that's where I built this CHEATO reactor, put it on the tank, which I got to say has been a very good investment. It wasn't that expensive, pretty easy to make, hook up, just a light strip around a tube basically is all it really amounts to. You can see how I put some CHEATO in there. The CHEATO grows in there about every be honest with you, about every 2 weeks I got to take 3/4 of it out and throw it away because it gets so crowded in there that I don't think it's going to, it wouldn't do any good to leave it in there. So I keep taking it out and then starting over. But it has been very, very effective, because after I've done that, now I don't have the red problem. I don't have the hair algae problem. Well, the hair algae problem I kind of got rid of with the fluconazole, which I also did a video on for that I'll have below this. And then I did want to expand the lighting, because it did seem like some of the corals just, in some of the areas were shaded and stuff with all this rock that I have in there. I wanted to give it a shot here to, do all it could do. So I did order the spare light here. There's actually a whole story behind that in a video as well. Had a little bit of a problem with that when I first got it. But you can see that in the video. And see, this is just basically after the lights are put on and turned on there. There's a comparison of before and after. And then shortly after I did that, I did have some requests as far as where do I set my lights? How do you set the lights? How does the phone app and that type of thing work for the FLUVAL lights? So I did this whole 2-part video series. Actually, it was 2 parts. I did it. I'll be honest with you, if you don't have a FLUVAL light, it's probably not for you, because it is basically for these lights on this tank. I mean, I'm sure some of this stuff may actually work for other lights as well. However, the videos are specific to that. And then I did wait longer than I should have to organize the wires, clean them up, get the wires, basically up off the ground, have the correct loops and drip loops so that I don't have to worry about water and fire. So basically everything that I have hooked into the tank is either hidden underneath, or it's basically the one cord on the side, which also would have quite a good loop for water. Then now that I have had everything starting to look right and going in the right direction, we started to add some more coral. So I did do a coral pack here. I just ordered 10. Well, they actually sent me 11. All zoas, and then this is just some pictures here, some of the other corals that I did buy at the beginning that did make it. I did also, as you can see, put in a whole little school of Bengai cardinals in there. Unfortunately, though, I have only one Bengai cardinal left because the male turned dominant and basically... Okay, so as I was going to say, I only have one Bengai cardinal left and the bicolor blenny. The other cardinals got killed one by one by this guy. That guy right there that you see in the picture, he turned dominant. He's definitely a male. The others were males as well. I got unlucky. I had all those. They were all males, not a single female. This is where the tank is right now. It looks pretty good as far as I can say. I mean, there is, if you look, let's see, point to it right here, there is a small tuft of kind of a hair algae growing up there, which I will get scrubbed off here. It's also the spot where that bicolor blenny, usually there's a hole there and he hides in there. He kind of has been eating on that algae, so I've kind of left it. Otherwise, pretty well everything is gone as far as any kind of negative algae. That won't be hard to take care of either. But that's just kind of a rundown of the first 7 months. This is where I'm at. As always, I want to say like, comment, subscribe. But more importantly, at this point, I do have this tank pretty much set up with not a lot of new things happening to it daily. So I would like to kind of start a discussion, hopefully in the comments. Maybe that could turn into a video. Or if you have video ideas, by all means, run them to me. I do know from the comments previously that several people, a good percentage of people that follow me, have a tank like this or similar. So if there are things you're doing that I'm not doing, comment it below. I want to know, because I want to know what to try next. You know, and if there is something I'm doing that you're not doing, and you want more information on it, let me know. Maybe I can turn that into a video, or maybe I can just give you a comment. I'm willing to share whatever information I have, but I also want information from you. Any information you can give me, because I want to make this tank as good as it possibly can be. I know that things I've done aren't perfect. I know things that you've done aren't perfect, but if we combine our knowledges, you know, and like I said before, that one of the guys that I know for sure has a tank also has a YouTube channel, that Mike Bowler. You may want to go over and check out his last video if you have not. He did have kind of a bad thing happen to his tank. I haven't been able to talk to him here to see if it's turned around for him, but definitely run over to that channel, check out his last video. It's a fairly short video, but it's kind of a sad video. However, please, if you have any questions, or if you have comments for me or advice, you know, I'm open to any of it. This tank, when I started up, was just going to be, I was just going to do videos step by step, and I still will do updates. It's just that I'm running to the point where it's got to just kind of set for a little while. Things got to grow out. I might add a fish here or there, maybe another coral, but maybe take some live rock out, like I said, depending on what's going on. But if you have ideas, run them by me. Again, as always, a like, comment, subscribe. Until next time,